I'm going to talk to you today about cake pops. You might be saying, what? Cake pops? Yeah, I mean like a real life cake pop. As you know, as I do lessons in your classroom, I always like to tell you a little story about my kiddos at home. Well, my daughter Katie just had her 16th birthday a couple weeks ago, and she asked me to make cake pops. And I love to bake, so I thought, okay, I can do this. Never done it before, but I can do this. So I went on the internet and I found some recipes, and I went to the store and I bought some cake mix, some icing, a pound of chocolate, a fancy pot to melt them in, and I had a vision of how awesome these cake pops were going to be. Well, very soon, I was covered in chocolate. The cake pops were falling apart, actually off the sticks. And I said to my husband, if I ever decide to make cake pops again, please tell me no. Well, however, my daughter Katie loved them. Her friend liked them so much that she asked me to make them for her birthday, which was just yesterday. And of course I said, yes. So thinking about redoing it the second time, I read the directions very, very closely. I used a smaller bowl, and I made the cake pops in the morning when my mind was fresh. I thought to myself, I can do this. Well, it was still messy. Here are some pictures. And here's a picture of the cake pops. Key points to remember about my cake pop story today. First of all, don't judge yourself by what you see on the internet. I was looking at the final videos of the cake pops. My cake pops weren't perfect. But boys and girls, when you see something on the internet, don't judge yourself by what you see on the internet. Secondly, don't give up. I had more success the second time. I learned a few things, and my cake pops were even better the second time. Here's a few things to keep in mind. Read the directions closely. If your teacher asks you to read directions, read them closely. The first time I made the pops, they were too big. My melting pot was too big. Boys and girls, sometimes bigger isn't always better. Sometimes we look to our friend and we say, oh, our friend has a bigger this or a bigger that. And boys and girls, bigger doesn't necessarily mean better. Lastly, you don't need to do things perfectly for them to be awesome. So the next time you're struggling with things and you're thinking things aren't going right the first time, please remember my cake pops.